Hey there, so today on Star Wars Talk, I will be breaking down and analyzing the official teaser trailer for Solo, a Star Wars story. So if you have not seen the teaser, I suggest you go and watch it. I am linking the official teaser in the description below. So now, time to break it down. So we open up here with what looks to be the console for a ship. Perhaps it's a Millennium Falcon, it's hard to say. And we get all of those switch sounds again that was in the TV spot. Lucasfilm logo.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
So the sideline there is implying that Han Solo has been, as I said, a criminal since he was 10 years old. And then, of course, right after that, they show this kind of interesting vehicle. It appears in some later shots. Like, here's another one, a head-on shot. Obviously in Han Solo's younger years, probably when he was hopefully on Corellia. Oh, I forgot. And the dice that are aboard the Millennium Falcon are right there, so he's obviously had them a long time. And kind of an action. Ooh, wait, where was that armor? Okay, looks like we're going to get some kind of militarized force other than stormtroopers. This could be a droid, or it could be some kind of armor we have yet to see in the canon. I'd be happy with either, really, but it's kind of neat. Also, to see more vehicle like this speeder here that we saw earlier is more reminiscent of a car than any other speeder we've seen. Just kind of a neat thing. Though obviously some places very industrial. And it drives very much like a car. Oh, I did not notice that my first view, but right there, that looks exactly like the targeting computer thing from A New Hope on the trench run. I did not notice that. Amazing, right there. Oh. Whoa.
For having a mind of my own.
Okay, let me go back a little bit. I'm thinking he is a living being based off of this side shot, that armored being we saw earlier.
For having a mind of my own.
Okay, essentially doing a very sharp turn drifting. Nice shot there.
I'm gonna be a pilot.
Oh yeah, and let's go back to Han Solo.
Be a pilot.
So obviously Han Solo wants to become a pilot, which is duh. He claims to be a very good pilot in the original trilogy. Then again, we get this pristine sharp shot of what appears to be the inside of the Millennium Falcon. Of course, it could also be another YT-1300 light freighter. There is a possibility. But I have a feeling whoever had the Falcon before Han, probably it's going to be Lando, took much better care of the Falcon than Han did. Because I said this when I did my reaction and analysis of the TV spot from the Super Bowl game, but I'm going to say it again. Here is that. In Empire Strikes Back, one of the first things Lando says to Han is, "What did you do with my ship?" That tells me that Han Solo was not keeping as good of care of the Falcon as Lando was. So to say that this is the Falcon and Lando takes very good care of it, totally believable. Or anybody else. But I would like to almost see that they kind of establish that Han Solo is much more sloppy in maintaining the Falcon than anyone else. That would just be kind of a little neat character trait I hope they include. But again, it's kind of neat to see a pristine version of the Falcon, something we don't really get to see. I do hope by the end of the movie, though, you can see that it's not as pristine and clean as it used to be. That's my hope.
Best in the galaxy.
Got an outside shot of the Falcon. That looks to be Han Solo looking up at it. Probably the first time he's seen the Falcon, is my guess.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew.
So it sounds like there's going to be some kind. That's I'm seeing Woody Harrels's character. I think I had the actor's name right, but he's supposed to be playing a mentor figure to Han Solo, and obviously, supposedly, I'm not sure how accurate that is, but obviously putting a crew together. So either he's becoming an independent contractor or a smuggler, and wants a crew to help him smuggle, which is always a possibility. Then we get this character again, and that droid there, which we will see later in the trailer, and I'll talk about the droid when we see it again. This character, that was that girl who was sitting next to Han in that opening speeder shot. So obviously she's probably doing better for herself than Han does. So, but obviously what looks to be there behind the Falcon, in much better condition. We get a shot of Lando and just no way the I forget the actor's name, but where he's sitting and getting the mustache, really, he looks like pretty much, he could very easily pass as a young Lando. Oh, and then there's this character here. I forget who it was. It might have been Eckhart Slado. I'm thinking with him, he speculated this could have been that one character whose name appeared in in an issue of the Star Wars main run comic, impersonating Han Solo's wife. Her first name was Sana. I don't remember her actual last name was, but if that's this character, that would be pretty interesting. I kind of doubt it, but that would be interesting. And maybe we could see that job that was mentioned in the Star Wars comic, or at least reference to, because it sounds like, no, really, because I read the comic recently, and it sounds like, and now with what we're saying here, it does seem to be that Han Solo might be more willing to work with other people when he was younger. It's a possibility, so we could get at least a reference to that job that was referenced in the comic. That would actually be pretty neat. And maybe the movie will also explain why Han Solo, like his only companion, is Chewbacca. Think about why they could have just called it Han Solo in a Star Wars story, but no, they called it Solo a Star Wars story. I think they're focusing on the Solo part of his name, making this explain why he works alone for the most part, except for Chewbacca. That could be an interesting angle in the story, explain why it seems very much ensemble-like from the trailers and all the stuff they've shown us so far. But and the twist in the story would not be that surprise of a twist, but it would be a nice progression, kind of showing, okay, well, we know that in the original trilogy, Han Solo got comfortable working with people. But where is this movie showing how he got uncomfortable working with people? Let me know what you think of that theory down in the comments below. Oh, gotta talk about this little creature, which I forget who it was again. I've watched a lot of the trailer breakdowns as well, so I just wanted to let you know that. But called it another, I think it was the King Cuisines, called it a space monkey. I don't know, but some kind of small alien creature with 4 arms, and I think he might be arming the quad guns of the Falcon, one of them. That's almost what it looks like. It's hard to tell for sure. Could be another ship, but definitely meaning some kind of guns. Then we get this thing, which I can't explain. I'm guessing a Sabacc game. The famous one where Han Solo won the Falcon. Fair and square in air quotes.
You in?
We get a picture of Chewbacca. On my reaction video to this trailer, somebody, I forget his name, I think it was Lia is how it's spelled, commented that Chewbacca is using his old bowcaster rather than his new one, and that he hopes to see how Chewbacca got his new bowcaster. If I see his old bowcaster, I'll try to point it out, and if he does, that would be kind of neat, and showing that, hey, he changed his weapons. Because we know that the bowcaster Chewbacca uses in the original trilogy and sequel trilogy was made before A New Hope from I believe an E11 blaster rifle, and so kind of would be interesting if we see how that occurred. But it's kind of nice, different kind of bandolier. Make him a little distinctive, but still obviously Chewbacca.
That's yes.
Okay. We got that character again in Lando. It's that droid though. So that image from earlier was this droid again in that one female character who's actor / character I forgot. So obviously I think this could, I'm not sure where it could be Lando's co-pilot, or it could just be a droid that joined the crew. That's very boxy. More switches. Yep. So we're obviously going to get some kind of cantina party scene. Somebody compared, I think it was again the Can Cuisines compared it to Canto Bite. Maybe, it's possible, but I think it any place like Canto Bite will do better in Solo rather than The Last Jedi, because it would make sense. Like Han Solo and other criminals will go to a fancy place to try to con people out of some money, cheat out some games or something like that. And we got Twi'leks in here, so some original trilogy aliens, which I hope they include them because they didn't disappear off the face of the galaxy. Disney, include them. You don't have to have 100 Twi'leks in Episode 9, but include one, maybe two, for example. Include a Rodian, because they exist. They didn't disappear. Sorry, that was a short little rant, but it's true. And why come apparently humans are the only species in Star Wars that is still everywhere? Why just them? Yeah, Twi'leks, Rodians, and some others. Include them here and there, so I already know it seems diverse. You got the oldest species which were around. Okay, let me stop this rant and just go on. We get this kind of thing, this creature in this kind of glass container, which I think it was again the King Cuisines pointed out that reminded him of the Bomar monks from Jabba's palace and those creepy little spider-like droids they ride in glass bulbs. Interesting. Oh, staircase.
I might be the only person. Who knows?
Okay, let me get this. There's that droid again. And I don't know if this is gonna happen, but it would be neat if he had a smaller droid hidden in there. Okay, I'm referencing the Han Solo adventures where in Han's early years he worked with a droid and a smaller droid so I could fit inside the bigger droid, and one of them was named Blue Max. That'd be lovely to at least include a nod to them. Don't have to give them the same names, but that nod would be neat.
What you really are.
So that one character again. This character here is probably the one who knows the most about Han Solo's backstory in this movie for character-wise, except for maybe nobody else.
What you really are.
What's that?
And then Han Solo asks, "What's that?" So that's interesting. That is interesting. There's gonna be an interesting dynamic between those two, I'm sure. Probably gonna be little bit rivalry, I'm going to guess. They may hint at some other stuff, but I think rivalry might be the main driving force. It's hard to say. Yeah. It's hard to say from just a teaser. We got a very glittery logo, I think, playing into the, how this is probably going to be a very, how do I put it? Based on smuggling and getting money, and that's how that became Han Solo's primary focus at the point. Yep. Oh, there's a little trademark there. It does but when you don't notice it, it's not that bad. Okay, and this is where a lot of people are talking about. First of all, I can't stop it right there. But apparently the Falcon also has a new shape. Again, modifications is possible and demodification also possible. Imperial Star Destroyer in some kind of storm. Then we get this tie again, where its weapons are over here rather than here. So I'm not sure what it is, but I know Star Wars Explained speculated this, and one or two other of the breakdowns I watched also speculated that perhaps the weapons are put off to the side. That way in the cockpit there can be some more room for more powerful sensors to help lead the TIE fighter through wherever the storm is. Which I think is the perfect explanation. And it also might give him more powerful weapons too. A pleasant bonus. I have no idea what that TIE is going to be called, but I would like to call it a TIE Scout, and maybe in the abbreviation could be TIE/SC Scout Starfighter. There, I made up a name for it. Don't take my word for it, but that's what I think would be neat. But I have bet Scout or Reconnaissance would somehow be included in that TIE's official name. We get some shots of them in the Falcon. Okay, that move though that the Falcon just pulled off for and knocked that TIE, it's very cool, but the Ghosts will also do it in Star Wars Rebels because we've seen it in its trailer. But that's actually some good shots to throw in for a teaser because, well, they don't spoil too much except for that they're going to destroy a TIE fighter, which we know get destroyed no matter what in Star Wars.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine.
Interesting.
We're fine.
The and some kind of alien creatures with like. Interesting. But let's go back to that Star Destroyer earlier, because I wanted to talk about that. So that okay. It is a okay. Good. It is an Imperial one. This I forget who it was. I think it was again Eckhart Slader. Could not discern what type of Star Destroyer it was because of the when he stopped it or the image she took. The command tower is much more obscure by wherever the storm is, and could have been either, but it is clearly an Imperial one. I just happened to get lucky and stumble across the better shot. But could see this sensor dome much better than in this shot. But again, and this is actually a pretty good shot for this dome overall. So I'll hold here for a second as I talk about what's going on here. I'm guessing the Kessel one. Now I think it was either Kinkertons or Eckhart Slader that speculated that this dome could actually be the Maw. And given that weird creature that's later on in the scene that I also showed you, that squid-like creature that's probably going to get somebody nightmares, I'm just guessing, it could be part of the Maw. And in Legends, the Maw was a cluster of black holes. Maybe, I think this would be, because black holes, if you're a skilled enough pilot, you could avoid them. But black holes are pretty much stationary, but I think this could be actually more intimidating. So in a few black holes, throw in some plasma storms, some space storms, some space electrical storms, throw in some real creatures, and just a whole mess of stuff that make it difficult to pilot. That would be an impressive Kessel one, and like maybe, and of course the 12 parsecs thing from New Hope, I'm going to say just plain old bragging by Han Solo, and maybe the Kessel one is 12 parsecs, and you can shave off a few units of measurement by taking some shortcuts through this dangerous electrical storm, which is probably how smugglers do the Kessel one to avoid Imperial forces. I would not be surprised if that Star Destroyer is destroyed in this because it's so big and presents a bigger target, I guess? I don't know. But let's move on. But it's a very cool looking storm, and I think it has to do with the Kessel one, like many other people have said. I agree with their conclusion. Whoa, some asteroids I think as well. Again, making it much more dangerous as a whole. And this creature that ugly. Probably gonna give people nightmares, as I said earlier. So there you have it, my breakdown and analysis of the teaser trailer for Solo: A Star Wars Story. Also, I would actually hear from you. What did you think of this teaser trailer, and what do you think will happen in Solo: A Star Wars Story? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, consider subscribing to my channel for future Star Wars content, and ring the bell to be notified when that content comes out. Also, give consideration to support me on Patreon. Not only do you help support me, but you also get extra goodies such as cut content and behind the scenes content, for example. Also, consider following me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.